Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ikea. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. You guys, it is the end of the year. 2022 is literally days away, and I don't know about y'all, but I am really excited to go into 2022. But 2021, it had its ups and it had its downs. Overall, I'm very, very grateful for this year. I'm so thankful to you all for supporting my channel, for showing me so much love this year and sharing my love for fragrances. So this is the last video of 2021, and I wanted to end it out doing a roundup of my favorite fragrances that were released this year. Y'all, the fragrance houses were coming for us this year. There were so many great fragrances that were released in 2021, and today I am going to rank my top 10 fragrances that were released in 2021. So if this is something that you're interested in, then be sure to stick around and watch this video. But before we get started, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, of course. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, because we are going to be serving all the YouTube videos in 2022. Also, be sure to click on that notification bell so you do not miss out on a single video. All right, y'all. So as I mentioned before, I feel like 2021 was a great year for fragrances. A ton of fragrances were released this year, and I did not have an opportunity to try out every single one of them because my pockets could not afford to try out all of them, but I did get a chance to try out some of the fragrances that were released this year, and I'm going to be sharing my top. I am actually going to rank these, and this was actually really kind of hard because I loved a lot of the fragrances that I got this year, but I'm going to rank them from 10 all the way up to my number one favorite fragrance that was released in 2021. So let's go ahead and get started. So coming in at number 10 is Marc Jacobs Perfect Intense. I really enjoyed this fragrance a lot this year, and I feel like this is one of those fragrances. It still has that same DNA as some of the other Marc Jacobs fragrances, specifically the original Perfect, but this flanker of the Intense version is just so beautiful and so sweet. It's a really nice gourmand. I always tell people this reminds me of banana nut bread. It doesn't mention bananas in here, but there is some almond and jasmine and sandalwood in here that is really, really beautiful, and I just really like this fragrance. It's an easy reach, and it's kind of unique in a sense compared to some of the other Marc Jacobs fragrances, but Perfect Intense is definitely one that I reached for. I think that this is a perfect fall and winter fragrance as well, and I just can't wait to continue wearing this one. So coming in at number 9, we have Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. This one I've actually mentioned a few times on this channel, and I really love this fragrance. It's so fun and playful and youthful. Gucci came out with the Eau de Parfum version of Flora Gorgeous Gardenia, which is what this one is, and I really do like this. It's very feminine, fun, flirty. This is a great everyday scent, especially for the fall time. So in this fragrance, there is gardenia, jasmine, there's some pear blossom in here, and brown sugar. So it's a little sweet and you get a kick of floral, but this is just one of those really fun fragrances, and it's very flirty. So coming in at number 8, we have L'Interdit Rouge from Givenchy. Y'all, I really loved this fragrance. This was one of those fragrances where when I smelled it, I instantly fell in love. And one thing that I really have fallen in love with, or a type of fragrances that I've fallen in love with in 2021, were citrus, fruity, florals. I just love a fragrance that has like a kick of citrus in it. Not overly fruity and overly citrus, but just like that little kick. So in this fragrance, there is ginger, there's blood orange, there's some jasmine in here, sandalwood, patchouli, and then there's also tuberose and vetiver. This is my favorite from the L'Interdit flankers. This one to me just has a little bit more depth to it in comparison to the others, and the tuberose is done really nicely in here. But when you first spray this, you get that blast of blood orange, and it is so, so beautiful. I get a ton of compliments on this fragrance, and I have truly enjoyed having this one in my collection. But this one is really, really great if you're into florals, specifically warm florals that have just a little kick, like a little punch of citrus. Okay, y'all. So I want to start off by saying with this next fragrance that you are allowed to change your mind, okay? You are definitely allowed to change your mind. So coming in at number 7 is none other than the Fenty perfume. So the reason why I say that you're allowed to change your mind is because I did a review on this fragrance when it first launched, and I will link it somewhere for you all if you want to check it out. But when this fragrance first launched, I'll be honest, I just wasn't a fan of it. I had a sample and I wasn't a fan. I continued to play and date that sample and just try to figure out if I was going to purchase the full bottle. And in the cooler months, I decided to pull that sample out, and something about it made me fall in love with the fragrance, okay? I just fell in love with it. And I know I definitely started off by saying that this fragrance was kind of basic. This fragrance was not unique, and I just was expecting more. But now that I have the full bottle, I actually do really enjoy the Fenty fragrance. To me, it isn't still the most unique fragrance that I have or that I've smelled, but something about this really does stand out in the cooler months, and I really have enjoyed wearing this in the winter time. I think it's just that fruity floralness of the fragrance and a little bit of warmth to it that I do enjoy. To me, this is a great everyday scent. And I'll also be honest, I love heavy hitters, but every once in a while, I like a fragrance that doesn't do too much. And that's exactly what this Fenty fragrance is. It doesn't do too much, but this is a really nice fruity floral fragrance, and it is a little warm. So there's blueberry in here, there's Bulgarian rose, there's also some patchouli in here and musk. Again, I do think that this fragrance is really beautiful, and I'm really happy that I added it to my collection. I will have to just again say that you're allowed to change your mind, and that's the great thing about life, and that's the great thing about fragrances. You can come back around to them and maybe you feel a different way about them than you did before. So number 7 is Fenty. Okay, so coming in at number 6 is Oriana from Parfums de Marly. And I actually don't believe I mentioned this one on my channel, but if you check me out on Instagram and on TikTok, I have definitely mentioned this fragrance. So y'all definitely follow me on those other social media channels. But Oriana to me is such a beautiful fragrance. This is one that I actually had to really kind of play with and date to be sure that I really wanted to purchase it. A, because it's expensive, and B, it does kind of smell like some other fragrances that I already have in my collection. But I really actually enjoy Oriana. To me, this is just a really beautiful, light and airy fragrance. Now, I know in a lot of reviews, people had compared this to Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy, and I do kind of agree in a sense. So in that opening, I definitely think that Orange Blossom and Whipped Cream combo kind of compares a little bit to Love Don't Be Shy. But in the dry down, this is where it becomes a little bit different to me. This fragrance becomes a little bit more light, airy. It's not as sweet. It's also not as dense as Love Don't Be Shy, and this is even fresh on my skin, and so that's why I really like this. Again, I was mentioning that as of lately, I enjoy fragrances that just don't come with a huge punch all the time. And that is how Oriana is. It's not like a heavy hitter. I get moderate performance on this fragrance. And I will say that is kind of my gripe about this, or maybe like my only complaint, is that the longevity of the fragrance isn't the greatest. For me, the longest that I've been able to wear this before it becomes a skin scent is about 4 hours. And I do wish that it performed a little bit better, but I do really like this fragrance a lot. I love Parfums de Marly. Is this my favorite fragrance from Parfums de Marly? Probably not, but as a 2021 release, I absolutely enjoy this fragrance, and I have not been able to put this down ever since I purchased the full-size bottle. All right, y'all, so now we are in our top 5, and coming in at number 5 is none other than Cloud Intense from Ariana Grande. So I'm obsessed with the original Cloud, but Miss Ariana, she snuck up on us this year. She surprised us with this release of Cloud Intense. And y'all, I am so obsessed. I am so in love with this fragrance. I actually did a review on this one as well, so I'll be able to link it for you if you're interested in my first impressions and my initial thoughts of the fragrance. But I love this so much. I actually enjoy this a little bit better than the original because this one lasts a little bit longer and it has more depth to me. But this is such a beautiful, sweet, gourmand fragrance. This to me is like Cloud's big sister. That's what I think of. I really, really like this fragrance though. There's ambroxan in here. There's also whipped cream. There's lavender, a little bit of praline in here. And this is just such a beautiful, beautiful, sweet scent. So if you like sweet fragrances and you like something that is somewhat affordable as well, then I definitely think that you should check out Cloud Intense from Ariana Grande. All right, y'all, so coming in at number 4 is My Way Intense from Giorgio Armani. This is such a beautiful fragrance, y'all. I cannot get enough of this fragrance. I get a ton of compliments on My Way Intense, and honestly, I can't get enough of it, honestly. I'm just obsessed. But this is a beautiful white floral fragrance. So in here, there's jasmine, there's tuberose, which is beautifully done. There's a little bit of bitter orange in here as well. And I just can't I can't say enough about this fragrance. It is just so amazing. I really feel like Giorgio Armani did their thing with My Way Intense. So I wasn't a huge fan of My Way, but this Intense version, they really amped it up, okay? They really kicked it up a notch with this fragrance. It is so beautiful and classy and such a beautiful feminine fragrance. So if you like things that are feminine, floral, and kind of warm, I definitely think that you might enjoy this one. It is also a great blind buy worthy fragrance. And again, I feel like Giorgio Armani really did their thing with My Way Intense. So as soon as this smaller bottle is done, I'm definitely getting the largest bottle that they have because I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, y'all, so we are in our top 3, and coming in at number 3 is none other than the beautiful Velvet Tonka from BDK. Y'all, first of all, I love me some BDK, okay? If you are not new to this channel, you know we love BDK over here. And I may actually do a complete video on my BDK fragrances and my thoughts on each of the fragrances that I own because I really truly love this fragrance house. But I believe they only came out with one fragrance this year, and that was Velvet Tonka. And when I tell y'all I fell in love, to me, this is like the best gourmand. To me, this was like my favorite gourmand of 2021. I could not put this down. Whenever I wanted something sweet and just so comforting, I always grabbed Velvet Tonka. This is such a beautiful almond scent. It also has orange blossom in there. Of course, there's tonka bean. There's a little bit of vanilla in here. There's a little bit of tobacco and amber. This is all the things. When I think of a gourmand fragrance, this is what I think of. It's not overly sweet and syrupy or even jammy, but it is just so beautiful. It is done to perfection. And honestly, I just cannot get enough of this fragrance. A lot of people say that this is comparable to Dior's Fève Delicieuses, and I do think that they are kind of along the same lines. They give me the same vibe, but this one is not as powdery as Fève Delicieuses. So if you were interested in that fragrance, but you didn't want something that's super powdery, I would definitely recommend Velvet Tonka because I'm telling y'all, BDK did not miss on this one. It is so good. All right, y'all, so before we get into our top 2 fragrances that were released in 2021, I have one honorable mention to share with you, and this is from the House of Sillage. This is the Wonder Woman fragrance, and the reason why this is an honorable mention is because this technically came out in 2020, the limited edition Wonder Woman 1984 edition, but then they relaunched it again this year and repackaged it for their 80th anniversary. So technically it came out last year and it also came out this year, which is why it's an honorable mention. But I absolutely love this fragrance, okay? This is just so delicious. and sweet and creamy. So this is a beautiful vanilla fragrance. There's also some caramel in here. There is some floral notes in here as well as pink pepper. I can't get enough of this. This is actually one of my favorite House of Sillage fragrances. The packaging is also very, very stunning. But I just wanted to quickly mention that one because y'all know I love House of Sillage, and this one I could not put down in 2021. All right, y'all. So we are on the top 2 of my favorite fragrances that were released in 2021. Can y'all guess what my top 2 are? I feel like y'all kind of know what fragrance house this is coming from. Well, it is coming from none other than K.Ali, okay? Y'all know we cannot do a top over here without mentioning K.Ali, okay? For sure we have to mention K.Ali. So coming in at number 2 is Invite Only from K.Ali. And y'all know I love me some K.Ali, but Invite Only is so beautiful. If I could name one fragrance that describes me perfectly, it would be Invite Only. This is literally me in a bottle. It's sweet, it's sensual, it's spicy, it's seductive, it's alluring. It is all the things, and it has depth to it, okay? That's me. But I really, truly love this fragrance. I feel like K.Ali did not miss on Invite Only. This is just so beautiful. If you like sensual fragrances that command attention, that turn heads, that are very, very sexy, then I definitely think that you should check out Invite Only because she is my girl. But this opens up with this beautiful black cherry note, and then there's some oud in there. There's a little bit of vanilla. There's some floral notes. This is a complex fragrance, but I really, really enjoy it. So to me, if I had to like compare this to anything, I would say this is Tom Ford's Lost Cherry meets Killian's Angel Share. Like those two had a baby, and this is what it is. Obviously it doesn't smell exactly like that, but I really just love this fragrance. It gives me those similar vibes. This is the perfect date night scent. This is the perfect, you know, snatch them up, turn heads fragrance. I just adore Invite Only so much, and I just think K.Ali really did their thing with this fragrance. So this is my number 2, and it is Invite Only from K.Ali. All right, y'all. So for my number 1 fragrance that was released in 2021, it is none other than K.Ali Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. I just love her so much. Honestly, I love her so much. So when I think about 2021, I think about this fragrance right here. This is probably my actual favorite fragrance all of 2021, not just of ones that were released, like all the fragrances that I wore. I feel like I grabbed this one more than anything. This fragrance has so many memories associated with it, and you all know the closest thing to a memory is a scent, so that is really why I love fragrances so much. That is why I love Sweet Diamond, because I have created so many memories this year, and all of the great memories that I can think of from 2021, I had this fragrance on. I went to concerts with this fragrance. I hung out with my friends. I traveled and I wore this fragrance, and I've received a ton of compliments. Every time I wear this fragrance, I get a compliment. It is just so beautiful. It layers nicely. It is just that girl, okay? So if you like fragrances that are feminine, that are sweet, florals, but still very, very sexy, I definitely recommend Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25. She is that girl. She is that girl. She is a head turner, but this is a beautiful pink pepper fragrance that also has some rose and vanilla in it. So it's also very, very feminine. And like I said, it's a nice floral fragrance. I cannot get enough of this. I absolutely cannot get enough of this. I love her so much, but y'all already knew that. But yes, I feel like K.Ali just did not miss in 2021. They came out with a ton of fragrances this year, and I fell in love with all of them. But Sweet Diamond is my favorite of them all that were released in 2021, and I just cannot get enough of this. I'll be wearing this all year round. I think that this is the perfect fragrance for the daytime, for even at nighttime. any time of day, any time of year, you can get away with wearing this fragrance. So that is why it's my number one. I just am in love, and I will drench myself and continue to drench myself in Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 21. All right, y'all, so that was the roundup of my top 10 fragrances that were released in 2021. I have truly enjoyed this fragrance journey. I have truly enjoyed sharing my love for fragrances with you all this year, and I cannot wait to continue to share my love and passion for all the things next year in 2022. So y'all, comment down below and let me know what was your favorite fragrance of 2021. Y'all know I'm nosy, but also I just want to know what you fell in love with this year. There were some other fragrances that I really enjoyed in 2021, but they were slightly new, so I felt like I couldn't put them in the top 10, that being Juicy Apple from Kayali. I also really loved Flower Bomb's Ruby Orchid. That one was also really nice, but those ones just recently released, so I couldn't put them in the top 10 just yet. But again, comment and let me know what y'all were loving in 2021. So that is everything. I thank y'all so much for watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Of course, also be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and do not forget to check me out on social media. My Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok handle will be linked down below in the description box, so you can check it out. I hope y'all have a fantastic new year. Stay safe. I hope that 2022 will bring you lots of love and peace and happiness and success and health, most importantly. So again, I hope y'all just stay safe and have a great new year, and I will talk to y'all in 2022. Bye.